I want to tell you about a job I applied for. I am a business owner. I built an AI platform. I run a channel that documents how silent operators build real income from the internet. And I applied for a position that required me to write code from scratch, no AI assistance, which is fine, except the same job listing also required proficiency in AI tools. Use the AI, but prove you can work without it. Now I want you to think about that for a second. These are the same people who drive to the interview in a car they didn't build, who fly to conferences on planes they couldn't design, who pull out a phone every 30 seconds they couldn't wire, who use GPS instead of reading a map, who use calculators instead of solving trigonometry by hand. But using a computer to do computer things is where they draw the line. That is not a skills assessment. That is a gate built by people who know nothing about the work, designed specifically to filter out the people who figured out the shortcut they decided to call cheating. I'm Paul M. Barber. This is the Silent Webmaster. This is the real answer, the final episode. I'm Paul M. Barber. This is the Silent Webmaster. This is the real answer, the final episode. 5 episodes, 5 different angles on the same system. The arrangement that converts your time into someone else's profit. The job market built to keep you replaceable. The school system that delivered you to both. The AI fear campaign that kept you from the exit. And now the interview requirement that makes you prove you can work without the tool. While the company deploys that same tool internally to reduce their dependence on you. It was always the same architects, always the same blueprint, always the same purpose. Nobody walks into an interview and gets asked to prove they can drive without a car. Nobody gets filtered out of a role because they use GPS instead of a paper map. Nobody fails a writing test because they use spell check. These are tools that make the output better, tools that every professional in every field uses without apology until the tool collapses the gap between where the gatekeeper decided you belong and where your output actually puts you. That is when the tool becomes a problem, not because the output is worse, because the output is indistinguishable, and an indistinguishable output from the wrong person breaks the entire gatekeeping infrastructure. Now let me tell you what happened when I gave it all away. The niche framework, free. The operator case studies, free. The validation tool at justpickaniche.com, free. The AI platform at Arcano Labs, free to start. The 5 episodes you just watched, free. Every answer the course economy charges $997 for, free. People found it, not because of ads, not because of a budget. Because the questions were real and the answers were actually there. That is the mechanism. Not working for a corporation, not feeding an algorithm that profits from your confusion, working for the person at midnight who needed a real answer and finally found one. The Silent Webmaster is not a channel. It is a live demonstration that the mechanism works for anyone willing to build inside it. So here's what I built in response to that job listing. A course, 14 days, 1 lesson per day. Built for the person who is being kept from a fair income by an interview process designed to exclude them. The pay on the other side of that gate is actually fair. The gate was never supposed to be there. It is called ahead of the gate, the shortcut they called cheating. 14 days, completely free. No upsell, no course at the end of the course. Just the actual skill set that gatekeepers built an entire hiring process to make sure you didn't have. It drops the day after this episode. The link is in the description. If you know someone sitting on the wrong side of that gate right now, send them this video. Let them decide for themselves. The arrangement needed you available. The school system needed you compliant. The job market needed you replaceable. The AI fear needed you paralyzed. The interview needed you behind the gate. You needed none of it. You never did. The mechanism was always there. The questions people were already typing were always there. The ad networks paying for answers were always there. The tools to build at scale were always there. The only thing standing between you and the right side of all of it was the noise. This series was about turning the noise off. 5 episodes, everything I know, given away because I was already the supply of tools to help you execute. Arcano Labs is the platform. JustPickAniche.com is the starting point. Ahead of the gate is the course. The Silent Webmaster is the proof. And you are the next operator. Not because I said so, because the mechanism doesn't care who uses it. It pays the person who builds inside it. So build in silence, earn in peace. And if you are ready to start right now, everything you need is in the description. The gate was never yours. You were always ahead of it.